Alright, time to record a new YouTube video. Oh my god, it's been 4 months? Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else. I'm your favorite color purple, and if I'm not, maybe this goofy video will change that. So, you want to build a town in Waterloo at home. Well, that's a kind of difficult. I mean, there's so many people that want to kill you and destroy your dreams and just burn the entire server to the ground. But it is possible. So today I'm going to show you how. So let's get into it. So to start things off, you're going to need to get materials. For anyone that has played Sapper before, you know it's just chopping trees, but you're going to need something between 10 and 15,000. Now, I know that sounds insane, but you are building a town after all. So in that case, tip for chopping, alternate directions, so you can swing your axe slightly faster. Good news though, depending on where you build, you naturally get mats. And if you delete what you've built before you leave, you get what you spent back, so the 2 hours you spend one day are good enough forever if you don't waste your resources. Now, once you find a good place to set up shop, I chose the beach on the blue side of the map right next to the river, you're going to want to place down your flag, since you need that to build most of their structures, such as walls and houses, and it's also your spawn point. Then you want to come up with a name. It shouldn't be something random, but something that you like, and that represents what you're trying to do, in my case, a shantytown port. I'd also recommend adding peaceful at the end, as in most cases, it will deter regular enemy players from attacking. Now, that's important to point out, as sadly, there are some people that don't really care if you're peaceful. For example, take Harry and Marv over here. Now, I'm terrible at combat in this game, so I obviously get immediately shot, but the important thing is that you get back up. In fact, I thankfully respawned with some of my teammates who came to my aid and saved my flag from being destroyed, so I didn't have to start over again. And I even got a kill in the process, so I was thankfully able to continue building. However, you're always prone to attacks in Waterloo at home. So if you see a group of people coming your way, the best thing to do is to target their flag bearer. Since that's their spawn point, if you destroy it, then the attackers can no longer respawn, allowing you to kill the rest easily. Now, on the topic of defending your flag, I would recommend putting some sort of defense around it. Now, of course, we're going to try to make it look decent, as we are building a town after all. But at the very least, put some gates around it, so that way your teammates can get in and out, but the enemy will have a harder time getting to and destroying your spawn. And while you're at it, I'd recommend blocking entrances to homes with team doors, so that way enemies can't hide in them and use your own homes against you. Now, the good news is, there are some players on the opposing team that don't want to kill you either. Whether they are peaceful or just passing through, they have no intent on attacking you or your town. So if you happen to come across these people, live and let live. If they don't want to kill you, don't kill them either. There's no point in making extra enemies in survival of the fittest, so whether you direct them to go and attack another fort, or you invite them to become a citizen, please, don't just go out guns a-blazing and kill them for no good reason, especially when peace is an option. Now, the most important part of any town is ensuring its survival, and the best way to do that is through defenses. Walls are great, but they can only get you so far when you take into account ladders and explosives. I find the best deterrent is often cannonades. Now sure, there's no way you will be able to fire all 200 of the cannons in your fort at the same time, but the menacing thought is sometimes enough to drive foes away, and at the very least, it makes a good visual. However, if you do use cannons like I am, make sure you place one facing in every direction, so that way the enemy can't attack you from an angle where you have no defenses. Next, I would recommend using scaffolding and deck boards. Whilst these provide basically no protection due to their incredibly low health, they are great for building. Whether it be the roof of a cathedral, a small dock for a rowboat, or even as flooring for a city on the water, I have used these in almost every build I've done. So, from a foundation for a home to a parade ground, I'd highly suggest their use. However, defenses and pretty building techniques won't be enough to get yourself off the ground, and so, in that case, I'd recommend getting yourself some friends. Now, I don't mean real ones, of course. There's no way you could do that, considering you're terminally online, but you can try to make friends in-game. Even if people say no, it's better to try to recruit them than to not try at all. And if the entire server says no, you can also try and get the friends you've made online in the past to help you. The whole point behind this, though, is that the more friends you have, the faster your town will spring up, and the more enticing it will be for newcomers to join. And the more people you have defending your town, the safer it is. Unfortunately, people these days have what's called a short attention span. So to keep them from getting bored and just leaving, trust me, they will just leave. You have to entice them with something. Now, I'm not going to say the entire town should be based off you sucking up to people, but provide them with amenities they want. If someone asks for a dock, build a dock. If they ask for a carbine rack, build one. Hell, you could even have an election and give out a governorship. Just make reasons that will make citizens want to stick around. If worse comes to worse, you can even try recruiting people from the other team to join you. I feel like now is the best time to explain the worst part of this entire process, considering this is about the time it would happen when you are actually trying to build a town. There will very likely be people in the server who start what is called a raid, where most, if not all of the enemy team gets together and just start wiping out all the enemy forts on the map. In all likelihood, your town will unfortunately be destroyed, but don't lose hope. Worst case scenario, you have to start over again, but that gives you a chance to try techniques you hadn't originally considered. Build larger than you were originally going to. Get more people to join you in your endeavor, since all the other forts to go to are no more. So, if your fort does get destroyed, give it another shot. See what you can glean out of it, and just enjoy the process while it lasts. So, you've built your town, made roads, set up houses, got your defenses in place, and have done everything your teammates have asked you to do, somehow. So what now? Well, my friend, now comes the best part. You now get to add decorations. By placing down barrels, scaffolding roofs, torches, crates, and everything else of the sort, you can finally make your town feel alive, like there are actually people living in it, unlike the reality that is all of your friends having gotten bored and left you to build by your lonesome. Make it the town that you've wanted to make out of Lego, but haven't had enough money to afford since you're a broke kid living off the scraps from the nasty school cafeteria food. All jokes aside, this is actually the part I myself enjoy most, because I get to just have fun scattering stuff about, figuring out how to make the place look more appealing by just placing stuff randomly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, then, maybe subscribe or something and hit that like button and maybe comment what you think you'd like to see from me in the future. So thank you very much for watching. You don't want to be me, because I'm purple, and I'll see you next time. Also, check out my community tab because I post there pretty often and it makes me feel better about my depression to see people liking that stuff. Okay, bye.